Hello, I'm Trevor Bentley from the HUBERT Company, and I am excited today to finally get to reveal our new adjustable height salad bar. And we want to show you today how to put it together, so when you get it and get it all put together, you get to see the smiling faces on all the kids that you're going to serve. Make sure that you check your manual and make sure that you take the time to have all the instructions and everything in front of you and create a workspace. And I would recommend that you also have a buddy there with you. That way it's not so long and boring. You have someone to talk to, but also someone to help you pick it up and process and et cetera, et cetera. So with that said, let's get started. So now we're at step 2. You've got your salad bar, all the boxing materials removed from it, and you've had a chance to take everything and set it aside and sort through it and make sure that you have all the nuts and bolts that you need. This salad bar ships upside down, and it comes with a really nice piece of foam, which makes a really nice workspace too. What we found was, as we were putting these casters on, and we're going to show you how to do that next, that you can get better access when you lift the legs up for a working platform, or however you want to put it. So just in case you don't know, the button's on the inside down here, and you can extend it and lower it to allow yourself to work on it. We recommend, typically on all of our carts and ovens and stoves, to put the locking casters, which are the ones with these handy dandy brakes on it, put them opposite of each other. So we put the brake caster, the locking caster over there, and we're going to put this one here. Simple process. The holes are already pre-drilled and everything's there for you. We take our lock nut and our bolt. So you'll want to put the bolt through the bottom since you're working upside down, and put the lock nut on top. So you're going to need a 1/2-inch wrench and a 14 millimeter to hold one and to tighten the other. Now that we've got the casters on and we've got the brakes in the proper location, we're going to go ahead and lower the legs back down, and that's done simply by pushing this button. We're going to let them go all the way down. So now that we've got our casters on, the locking casters are opposite of each other, and we've lowered the legs down inside it, now we're going to flip it over. You're definitely going to want a buddy to make sure that you don't drop this thing or break the wheels off or anything like that. So my buddy and I are going to flip this over gently. Remember that where the button is the heavy side. This is where the battery pack lives. So you're going to want to have that person who can really hold some weight help you in that area. Bend with your knees and not your back. So we're going to lift it over and get your hands underneath. Gently flip it over. There we go. So now that we've gotten our salad bar upright, so to speak, and on its wheels, we want to put the tray slide down the side, and I recommend that you keep that same buddy to help you put the screws in, because this salad bar tray slide's a little long. So you can do it one of two ways. You can either have him hold it like that, or one of you can work on one side and one on the other, but I'm going to, since we have one screwdriver, Phillips head, I'm going to allow him to hold it, and I'm going to put the screws in for it. So as we put these in, I recommend that you put one in this side, don't tighten all the way, and put one in that side and don't tighten that one all the way. So that way you can move it side to side to fit the holes where they're at, and you can put them in there without too much trouble. Okay, now that you've taken the time to make sure all the screws are in there and you tighten it up good, you can simply lower this by pulling each of these handles in and letting it down. Like so. So now we're going to work on getting the top on and the end shelf on, and you'll be ready to serve some great salads and different fruits and produces right out of this thing. So now that you've got your tray slide on, you want to take a minute and just remove these 2 screws on the end with a simple Phillips head screwdriver. So we'll take those off and just hold on to them for now. You want to do this on both sides. And after we get these out, we'll begin to assemble the sneeze guard, and you'll be able to put this on here. Okay, so now that you have removed those 2 screws I told you about, we're going to go ahead and bolt our risers on here. And you have a couple screws here. that go into the top, and I'm going to have my colleague hold that for me while I screw these in. And remember when you're screwing these in to take a minute and make sure that they screw in straight, because you certainly don't want to get one of these cross-threaded or stripped in any way. If you do, give us a call. We'll make sure you get some bolts. Learned a trick from my grandpa. Always go backwards first, and it'll seat and then start turning. I don't know if that'll help you at all, but hey, you know, grandpas have wisdom. So we'll put those 2 screws that we removed earlier back into the salad bar, just like that. And we've got our first riser on, and we'll go do the other one. Okay, now that we've got our risers on, we can add our sneeze guard. But before you do, you want to remove all the plastic or the coating off of it, because it'll be difficult to get to once you've got the bolts and screws in it. So you got to get a sharp fingernail or something in there, and you just begin to peel the plastic off. I found the best way to do it is try to get the biggest piece you possibly can all at once, and that way it'll all come with it together. So we'll peel them off like so. And remember, you have it on the inside too. So don't panic if it doesn't look very clear. It might just be because you haven't removed the inside too. So we're going to set this on top, and you've got your bolts and your nuts, and we want to set that on top. Little secret to these, obviously you want to maybe push these in here like so, just to get them to hold the acrylic on there and make sure that it stays there so it doesn't slide off one side or the other. Always a key to acrylic is take your time and don't over tighten, okay? Because obviously if you do, it's a good chance you might crack one of these. So we'll put those units in, and we will start tightening them up. So you have a Phillips head on top and a 7/16 on the bottom. And I recommend just using the ratchet or your wrench to hold it, because sometimes we just want to turn it hard. Instead, just use it to hold it still and turn the screw so you don't over tighten and break one of these. So, okay, we are almost finished. You've almost got your salad bar ready. We simply need to add the end shelf to it, which is very similar to the tray slide. I'm going to let my colleague help me with this so we can get the screws in quick. Remember, add 1 screw in each side. Don't over tighten. You can go back and tighten everything up, but these have little adjustments for each side to make sure that you get it exactly where it needs to be. So don't over tighten those. Back and forth on each side. That way you can go back. Your hand's free at that point, and you can slide these back and forth to make sure you get a good set with the screw in there. Okay, so now that you've got all your screws in, now you can go back and make sure everything's nice and snug. And I mean that through the rest of the salad bar as well. Just take a minute, go back through and make sure everything's nice and tight. Don't over tighten the plexiglass and break it, but take a minute and just look and make sure everything's tight the way you want it. All the screws are in place, and you are almost ready to go. At this point now, you want to charge up your battery, which is inside, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute, and let it fully charge. 24 hours should be enough to be able to take your salad bar out and start feeding these kids or whoever else you're feeding. It comes with the cord that you need, and you should be able to find the outlet hole by looking and finding the end shelf. That'll be the side which, if you remember in the first video, was the heaviest. And there's a little inlet here. Remove the plastic grommet that goes inside of it to protect it, and push your plug in and plug it into your outlet. 110 simple outlet, and it is officially charging.